Whether you are installing a new light fixture or almost any electrical project around the house, you are going to need wire connectors at some point. There are so many different options. I've never seen so many options before. Let's get into it. Okay, you have your electrical twist-on caps of various sizes. That's what the colors are indicating. The product label will show you how many wires you can put per connector, and they'll be color-coded up to the large boys. Every manufacturer will have a different color coding process. Then we'll have lever locks. Those are cool. I'll show you later in the video. You have push-to connectors, and then you have these wonky 8-port connectors. I've never seen so many wire connectors. Okay, like I said earlier, probably the most common project is a new light fixture. The same principles for attaching wires will apply, whether it's a light fixture or a junction box or changing wiring out. Now, the most common connectors are these twist-on cap connectors. Now, the manufacturer will say pre-twisting of the wire is not required, but I think that's the most common reason why a lot of do-it-yourselfers and beginners fail. You see, you twisted it on and one of them is still completely loose and you'll have a bad connection and your new light fixture or whatever fixture will not work. So I'm going to show you a trick. The reason these are supposed to work, if you look down deep inside, there's a metal connector in there, a screw-on metal connector, so you'll have conductivity of the electricity current. When a beginner puts 2 or more wires together and twists them on, invariably the wire length is longer on one end than the other, and the cap will only bite on that protruding wire and not both of the wires together. So the fix for that is to simply pre-twist the wire. Now, if you read the manufacturer's label on electrical connectors, they will claim that pre-twisting is not required. A lot of people do swear by it, and I tell you, I really trust it. The advantage of pre-twisting the wire with any pair of pliers. These are electrical Klein tools, high quality. I'll have it in the video description, but any pliers will do. The advantage is you can see that you have a good solid connect wire before you apply the cap. But wait, don't apply the cap yet. We still have a protruding wire longer than the other and it will not bite correctly. So after you pre-twist, go ahead. Look what I'm going to do there. Snip just a little bit off of the end so you have a flush end. Now you're ready to put on that electrical connector. It will bite on equally to both wires. You have a tight connection that will never fail. Okay, that's a great connection. Now, if you want extra insulation, extra insurance, go ahead and pick up some electrical tape. Now, black is the most common, but electrical tape does come in every color of the rainbow. And a lot of people do like to put a little bit of electrical tape on the end of that cap and just wrap it around. And as you're wrapping around, you actually give it a little bit of a stretch. That's a connection that will last for years and years as you fold it gently into the box and push it all the way in the back. Now, a disadvantage of these caps is it does have a little bit of a learning curve to it. You do have to have some basic experience, and you also can see that they're huge. Look at the size of these things. So if you have a tight box and you're folding up too many wires and electrical caps, you can run out of space. So let's show you another option. Okay, introducing the push connectors. Now these have a metal wire with a clamp inside. You are supposed to be able to retrieve the wire after you lock it inside, although I've not been able to do that successfully. These seem to be a one and done. You take your wire connection, this one's a 3-port, and you strip off the correct amount of insulation, and then you literally just insert the wire fully, and they've given you clear glass or plastic so you can see that the wire is fully seated into the end. And then you do your other wire, whatever you're connecting. Now, if it's fully seated to the end, you know you've installed correctly and it is super tight. It's a good connector, and look, it uses so much less space in your boxes than your traditional caps. I have another one I like even better than this one. Let me show you. The most common connection most homeowners probably do, especially beginners, is some kind of light fixture to the existing wiring in your ceiling boxes and such, or your wall sconces. Now, if you look, light fixture wires always have these stranded separated wires, whereas your household wiring is solid, totally different type of wires. And then when you do a traditional screw-on cap that probably even came for free with the electrical fixture, you'll have a loose connection, and that stranded wire will usually just pull right out and you won't have conductivity and the light won't work. Problem is they're different type of wires. They have to be treated differently when you're attaching them. Now, I will give you a cheat sheet, a tip. If you take the stranded side and you install it proud or taller than the solid house wiring side, then when you screw on your electrical cap, it will twist everything together and it will bite on solid. But I have a better way. Introducing the Wago 221. These are lever lock wire connectors. Some people in this country think they're new or untested. That's not true. In many parts of the world, these have already been the standard for decades. They are UL listed and safe to use. They have been tested for conductivity, temperature, amperage, and these are rated for 20 amp circuits, 300 volts. This particular type will hold small stranded wires or solid wires from as thin as 24 gauge to as thick as 12 gauge, which is this yellow household wiring here, a 12 gauge circuit. No learning factor on these. They come closed in the box. You literally open up your wire levers and you're going to insert the wire all the way to the back and lock it in place. As simple as that. If you make a mistake, you can loosen it up, remove it, and reposition. Now, why these work so good with light fixtures is you lock it on the house side and then your light fixture stranded side, sometimes you have to give it a little bit of a twist to make sure you don't have loose hairs, loose fibers all the way around. But once you get it in that opening, it will go all the way to the back. It will bite on tight, and that's a good tight connection. Also, it's using very little space in the boxes, so it fits in your ceiling boxes. These Wago connectors are sold at Menards and some other home improvement stores, and I also have them in the video description. I order mine often from Amazon. They come in a 2-port, a 3-port, and a 5-port design for multi-wire connections. They also have extender connections when your wires are short and you need to extend a longer one on. Now, the next wire connector I wanted to show you was back to the push connectors. This is from Wago again, but it's not lever lock. It's just push to connect. And these have wire connector ports up to 8. Look at that, up to 8. And if you read the tiny little labeling, they'll tell you the requirements says it can rate up to 450 volts, up to 32 amps. It gives you the wire strip gauge size there. And you simply just insert wires. You feel it lock all the way in. You can see through the clear viewport that you're locked to the back of the device, and you just start stabbing and sticking. Up to 8 wires. Boy, that'd be a big junction box. I'm telling you, they've made it so electrical work is not difficult at all for you. You have easy to use options now. You have traditional that comes with the light fixtures. You have these easy lever locks that can be removed and repositioned anytime you want, and then you have the push to connectors. Electrical wire connectors for the do-it-yourselfer, the beginner. Let me know if you have any questions. Hey, I knew you could do it yourself.